Hi guys, Alex here. Welcome back to Girl Talk. I've got a little bit of mess and a little bit of drama today for you guys. For today's video, we're going to go ahead and discuss Miss J Bay Productions. She is acting up again. You may remember her for going viral. She was on the news internationally. She's famous, y'all. Where's her show, TLC? 1,000-Pound Travelers? No? She went viral for a petition calling for people of size to be able to book flights, and if they needed 2 seats because of their weight, then that second seat was free. Many people took issue with this, citing that it would only incentivize airlines to raise prices for everyone, as if they needed another reason to raise prices. If you take up 2 seats, you gotta pay for 2 seats. That's just how it goes, sweetheart. We are going to get into several of Jalen's controversial statements over the past couple of months, all regarding plus-size travel. That's what she's most famous for. It's all she talks about, really. Then we will end talking about her latest ordeal, a shocking moment at the airport that left J-Bay humiliated. All that and more coming up on today's edition of Girl Talk. Let's just get right into it. Shall we? All right, you guys, welcome back. Settle in, settle in. I hope you booked 2 seats today because it's gonna get uncomfy. Our last video, speaking of Miss J Bay, was around the time that her airline petition went viral around the world. Give me a free seat because my size, my comfort. You know what was interesting about J Bay's petition and accompanying video is that not once did she think maybe I could do something. Maybe I'm at least part of the problem. No, she blames everything on the seats. I mean, the seats are pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. What is up with those airplane seats? And I'm talking about the cheap ones. No matter if I put it back a little or adjust it in the limited ways that you can, I cannot get comfortable on those things. But you know, maybe if they gave me a second free one, I'm not even sure that would help. Even J-Bay has admitted that she avoids regular coach, opting for them Spirit big seats. Have y'all seen this new diagonal seating design? It's a prototype for commercial airlines and has not yet been implemented, thank God. But just look at that. Ugh, I know what you all are thinking. I can smell it right now. Almost makes you feel thankful for what we have now. Almost. Unfortunately for J-Bay, despite her best efforts, she has failed to receive her goal of 50,000 signatures on change.org. It has been about a year since she created it, amassing a total of 39,000 in that time. But J-Bay continues to push this petition to this day, recently telling people to go sign it on a TikTok where she talked about how her fiance was also, in her words, discriminated against while flying when a fellow passenger outright refused to sit next to him. But that's the thing about J-Bay. We never know the other person's side of the story. Something tells me the truth is not always as she portrays it. In the end, I can't say that J-Bay's petition was a complete failure because if her goal was to simply get eyes on her to get people talking about this, I would say it was a success. Although she has been clowned, dragged all over the internet. It certainly wasn't a good look for her. In regards to J-Bay's petition actually causing change to be enacted, though, nothing has changed. Based on a March 2024 article on NerdWallet, none of the other major U.S. airlines, aside from Southwest, have adopted this policy. And Southwest had the policy before the petition, and they were J-Bay's standard for what others should adopt. In the end, you will still most likely have to pay for a second seat or risk having to take a later flight. Although to this day, J-Bay continues advocating for extra free seats for super morbidly obese people, or as she says, plus-sized individuals. But that's not all, folks. There is more to J-Bay than her customer of size airline media fiasco. She has made quite the name for herself over the past year with a series of outlandish statements and requests, and this next one is a doozy. During a TikTok discussing the straight-up demands she has for hotels, J-Bay asks for, among other things, hotels to make hallways and elevators more spacious.
Size-inclusive hotel amenities are crucial for ensuring that plus-size travelers feel welcomed. Provide sturdy, wider chairs without armrests. Ensure beds with strong support and a higher weight capacity. Make elevators and hallways spacious.
Yes, she wants hotels to make their hallways and elevators bigger. I'm gonna have to assume that she means new builds, right? Because I guarantee the cost of enlarging the hallways in an existing hotel would not only be astronomical, it would come at the expense of the size of the room. We're talking about millions of dollars here, J-Bay, if it is even possible. She expects the world to change. Everybody else, everything else is the problem. You know, it would be a lot cheaper and a lot more manageable than enlarging a hallway? You guessed it. Weight loss. But it's almost as if the thought has never even crossed J-Bay's mind. She has all these ideas about making the world more plus-size friendly and accommodating for her, no matter the cost. But the idea of her making a change, she doesn't know her. It's absolutely wild to me. She might be even more delusional than Fat Girl Flo. It's just one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. The only thing I could see as plausible from this video of hers is possibly a plus-sized room option. Like we have smoking, non-smoking, rooms for people with disabilities. They could make a plus-size option with a large reinforced bed, sturdy chairs with no armrests, as she mentioned in her video, showers that are easier to get in and out, etc. It might actually save the hotel money in the long run if they have a problem with obese people breaking furniture, but I don't know because I've never worked in a hotel. If it doesn't help increase that bottom line, they're not going to do it. I think J-Bay would be more successful at getting her point across if she focused more on what could be added, like a row of bigger chairs on small domestic flights and a plus-size hotel room option instead of changing the entire building or how it is built. But really, I've been to plenty of hotels and it's not like the hallways are cramped. How much bigger do you need it to be? Continuing on this theme of J-Bay's selfishness, just last week, she posted a TikTok saying that all ride shares, Uber, Lyft, etc., should be mandated to provide a seatbelt extender for her. Peak J-Bay logic. It's J-Bay's world. I mean, we're just living in it. So why doesn't she just bring her own? Well, she managed to cover her bases. She says that her seatbelt extender doesn't always fit into the various vehicles. I wonder if an Uber has ever canceled on her. That's sad. Speaking of sad, J-Bay has recently endured, in her words, a very distressing situation at not one but two airports that ended up leaving her humiliated. So, of course, she had to make a TikTok about it. The first incident, which J-Bay says will shock us, happened at the Seattle-Tacoma airport. J-Bay, who describes herself as an ambulatory wheelchair user, which means she can walk. Just as an aside, yes, it means you can walk, but mobility varies from person to person. Anyway, she was getting ready to deplane, and she saw the employee approaching with a wheelchair. Well, as she approached, the airport employee started walking away with the wheelchair, and she was making comments about J-Bay's size, or so J-Bay says. J-Bay said that she pleaded, "I need that chair now," but Miss Airport employee kept walking off. She then proceeded to walk. You don't say. But by the time she got to the wheelchair, she claims that her lips were white and her oxygen levels had dropped. She almost fainted right there on the air bridge. See, it was her first time flying without oxygen. J-Bay uses oxygen on the regular, which is addressed in yet another controversial TikTok where she says that she uses it for pulmonary hypertension and then claims her weight is not a factor that goes into it, which is false. The top comment is from a respiratory therapist that says she is straight up lying. But if that's not enough for you, a quick Google search reveals, yes, weight certainly does play a role in this. Anyways, thoughts on J-Bay's TikTok? Well, I immediately thought, what if this lady is just not capable of pushing J-Bay? They are usually on an incline. I know that in J-Bay's mind, everything is about her and she needs to get out of there as soon as possible, but she didn't even think about this woman getting injured. We have no idea what this lady said in regards to her size, but I'm thinking it's something along the lines of, I can't do this. I can't push this woman. Or maybe she even said, you can walk. It's even possible that this lady had seen J-Bay walk before. This woman just assumed I could walk and would rather me do that instead of her having to push someone my size up the jet bridge. Who said she could? All the other attendants wheeled their passengers up the jet bridge, but my needs were disregarded. This is discrimination. See, even J-Bay herself knew that she could make it across that jet bridge. She just didn't want to walk. If she would have waited, they could have found someone strong enough to push her up. What's really funny about this TikTok is the fact that she walks down a seemingly never-ending plane aisle to get to her seat at the very back of the plane, and she seemed fine. Everything seemed okay. I just think that J-Bay is misrepresenting this situation and that the employee could not push her. Maybe she was looking for somebody else that could. We don't know. I see a lot of people leaving sympathetic comments, but clearly they don't know J-Bay. She's playing, you guys. After that particular incident, she can't seem to catch a break, y'all. There was another on the way back home. She claims as they were going through the airport, her and her fiance were pointed at and laughed at, not by passerby, but airport employees. One of them even saying, "What the actual F?" This was all in the Chicago O'Hare Airport. I don't know if I'm really buying this one, J-Bay, but it doesn't stop there. J-Bay got caught in one of those revolving doors. Now this I'm gonna need to see some footage of. I swear, that's what she said. Y'all know those doors that keep moving? Well, she got stuck in it. And according to J-Bay, the staff just looked on, offering no assistance to her as the claustrophobia set in. What is going on, J-Bay? They just left you in there, girl? I wanted to hear the end of the story because she never said exactly how she got out. Maybe she's still in there. No, but really, hearing all of these narratives from J-Bay, I do think a lot of this is constructed in her own mind. It's her truth. It's J-Bay's truth. Doesn't mean it is the truth. This is how she sees it. This is her world. And it's very delusional. But not only that, it is very sad. This is the way that she looks at everything. Not once through all of these videos, petitions, countless TikToks does she think, maybe I should get some help. Maybe I should lose some weight and I wouldn't have to deal with any of these problems, because that is the overarching theme here. If she were to lose weight, she wouldn't have to deal with any of these problems. And look, I'm not going to sit up here and call her names, but she's one of those people that you just get it together, J-Bay. Like, what are you doing? Anything that she can use to play the victim, she's all over that shit. I mean, just think of all the money you would save not having to buy that extra seat. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. She loves to travel. I say more power to her. I don't think that she should be obstructed from traveling because of her size. She just needs to make proper accommodations and realize that not everything is about her. Not everything is a vicious attack against her. I don't know about the Chicago employees pointing and laughing at her. Who knows if that actually happened, but that's not cool. I'm not saying I support anything like that. And yeah, if she needs help, she needs help, but she's 27 years old. All of this should not be the case. Just think, all the traveling that she does, there has to be many things that she simply just cannot do. I was at a water park a few weeks ago. There's no way that she could do that. She really needs to look beyond herself and stop being so selfish. Not everything is about her. Maybe harness some of that selfishness and focus on yourself, focusing on your body and your mobility and trying to do something to improve your life. But not J-Bay. She would rather sit around and be Fat Acceptance's biggest victim. One thing I can agree with J-Bay on, make those bathrooms bigger. All right, you guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about all of these situations, the many controversies of J-Bay Productions. She actually goes by J-Bay Official now, so like clockwork, I'm sure she'll have another one next month. T, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will, of course, catch you guys in the next one. All right, bye, everyone.